On the last edition of 30 Minutes, we introduce you to Irv Schmidlapp, flashy San Diego businessman and millionaire. At that time, Schmidlapp was facing criminal charges of fraud and embezzlement and was about to be tried in the San Diego Superior Courts. Schmidlapp has once again fallen under the probing eye of the media, this time a defendant in a civil class action stemming from those same criminal charges. The intricacies of that civil case provide an interesting backdrop for the following 30 minutes introspective into the mind and the soul of a man called Schmidlapp. We decided that the best place to start our investigation of this mega millionaire was to go directly to the source. Behind me is Schmidlapp's $10 million Rancho Santa Fe estate, where he resides during the winter months.
I'm sorry, he can't talk to you now.
At first, Mr. Schmidlapp was very cordial.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, why don't you come on in and check it out? It's a beautiful
However,
place.
after a few pleasant cocktails on the veranda, conversation turned towards the pending civil action against him, and he immediately jetted off, suddenly remembering an urgent lunch date on Catalina with a rising Hollywood starlet.
I'm amazed he could do this to a poor little old lady like me. And
meet the primary source of Schmidlapp's discomfort. Loretta Brown, 65, widowed, and now penniless. She claims that Schmidlapp stole from her over $3 million, her entire family fortune. In her class action against Schmidlapp, Mrs. Brown seeks damages for fraud, embezzlement, extortion, and for, quote, just being an all-around scumbag.
I can't believe he would do such a thing to me.
Well, Loretta, what exactly was it about this man, Irv Schmidlapp, that would make you give away all of your money to him freely?
Well, young man, he is so smooth. He's such a smooth operator. His dress is so wet, and he just swept me off my. Anything that man told me, why I believed it, and my little Fifi, my little French poodle, she was everything to me. He told me I could provide for her, and he would make me rich. He would get anything, multiply all this money that I had, and he took it all, and he left, and I never saw him again, and it was so awful. But you know, the worst part of the whole thing was, why, he took my virtue.
No. And they're out of fruit salsa. I said, how can you be out of fruit
We returned
salsa?
unannounced to Schmidlapp's mansion to confront him with Mrs. Brown's additional allegations of physical assault. Excuse me, Mr. Schmidlapp. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
I tell you, when you own everything, what's that? Look, I told you, I'll answer your question some other time, okay? I'm having a little fun here. Hey, Federico, turn on the bubbles. Make a little splash around here, will you? Yeah. Anyway, so, these are beautiful little things. Yeah, great. Anyway,
Discouraged but undaunted, 30 Minutes headed downtown to the offices of Thorsness, Bartolotta, McGuire, and Padilla, where we had an opportunity to speak with plaintiff's counsel for the class action, Mickey McGuire.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking out the action. Come on in, sit down. Can I get you something? Heineken's, Scotch and water, Perrier. How about a Montblanc pen? Come on. How about a couple $1,000 even? Sit down. So, what can I do for you?
Yeah, well, Mickey, we wondered if we could ask you a few questions about Loretta Brown's lawsuit against Irv Schmidlapp.
Loretta Brown. Loretta Brown, of course, Loretta Brown. Listen, I'll tell you, it's disgraceful as far as I'm concerned. People like Schmidlapp take advantage of, Gloria Gray. There's other Gloria Grays in this.
Loretta Brown is her name.
Whatever. I mean, it's disgraceful that Schmidlapp will line his pockets with the hard-earned savings of innocent people. I mean, what has to be done in this country is people have to stand up for their rights. You can't have the innocent people passing on money to people like Schmidlapp, who have absolutely no right, no entitlement to it. A cigar?
No, thanks.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
In any event, we expect, when I first looked at this case, that Linda Gray would probably...
It's Loretta Brown.
Whatever. Loretta Brown is probably going to make us a lot of money. I mean, going to make herself a lot of money along the way. You understand what I mean, don't you? Now, I last thought that when we take Clarice's deposition in this particular case...
You mean Loretta?
Whatever!
Growing desperate for insight into this enigmatic figure, we once again tried to contact Schmidlapp at home.
Time. I got a whole bunch of, look at this beautiful place I got here. Who wants to talk about this stuff, you know? Get out of here. There's a litigation crisis going on. Yeah, so I'll talk to you later, Jeff. I don't have time right now. I'm going out to the polo farm, all right? Yeah, I'll be talking to you later. Adios, muchachi.
Judging by his cocky facade, it became increasingly obvious that Schmidlapp was tied up with more pressing affairs.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll answer any questions you got in a few minutes. I gotta run down to Cilantro's. I'm fresh out of fruit salsa. See you later. Hey, listen, I don't care if it's a, Lamborghini or Ferrari. Just make sure it's red and the roof pops off, all right?
It wasn't until 2 weeks later, when 30 Minutes finally cornered Schmidlapp in his top-floor office at Schmidlapp Towers, that he agreed to answer questions about the pending San Diego litigation.
Hey, how you doing? Can I get you a gin or something? It's a beautiful hot day. Hey, Brenda, get the man a gin, will you? Cool him off a little bit.
Well, thank you, Mr. Schmidlapp, for finally granting us an interview. Mind if we ask you some questions about your meteoric business success in San Diego?
Hey, no problem. Hey, first of all, call me Irv, all right? Everybody calls me Irv. Second of all, I'll be happy to, tell you anything you want to know. My life's an open book. I'm the American success story. Go ahead, shoot.
Thank you, Irv. Specifically, I'd like to ask you about the allegations in several complaints filed by senior citizens in San Diego, alleging that you've bilked them out of millions of dollars of their family fortunes.
Yeah, you believe that stuff? I mean, anybody can file a lawsuit. There's a litigation crisis going on in this country. I happen to agree with President Quayle, who distinctly states that this stuff's hurting us both in the foreign markets and abroad. And, we got to put a cap on these types of things.
Well, what if I told you, Mr. Schmidlapp, that I had proof on this videotape that you were in fact lying to us today?
Hey, videotape, schmidiotape, okay? Anybody can put one of these things. Now, what does this thing allegedly show?
This tape includes surveillance footage of you in your La Jolla office with Miss Loretta Brown, where you had her sign over a deed to her property worth $2 million.
Oh, baloney. Let's see that thing right now.
Come on, Fifi. Come on. Now,
So we showed Mr. Schmidlapp the following footage, secretly taken by our 30 Minutes poodle cam.
Hey, you brought your doggy, huh?
Oh, Irv.
How are you? Hey, that's a cute little dog.
That's my
Hey, come here, Fifi. How you doing?
No, you
I'll
stop
break your...
that.
I
He's
mean,
a nice man.
what
Now
a cute
just be
doggy.
quiet. She's my little baby.
She sure is. Hey, I got these
She's
papers.
my baby.
While we're talking about that, why don't you just take a look at these?
I just
Let's
wanna
sign real
see
quick
here.
down here at the
Wait,
bottom, and then we'll
look.
talk about your
Irv,
dog.
what's this power of attorney? What does that mean?
Yeah, power of attorney simply means very simply that if you get in a jam ever, I get a very powerful attorney to work for you.
I
I'm
see.
connected.
That's
Oh yeah,
good.
oh yeah, very connected.
Okay, well,
Why don't you just sign right down here at the first
quit-
page since you haven't...
Quit claim? What does that mean?
Quit claim means very simply that, people are making claims against you, they gotta quit it. That's all. It's
very
insulates
good.
you.
Oh,
It's a
Irv, that's
protection
very good.
for you. Why don't you sign that one?
No consideration?
No, what that means is people are being inconsiderate to you. They gotta stop being inconsiderate to you. So
you're
everybody's
so
gonna be nice to you.
wonderful.
Oh yeah, sign right here, okay?
Now, Irv,
No.
are you sure I should really do this? This is everything I own.
Hey.
This is all of it.
Hey. Let's put this aside for a minute, okay? Let's put the business aside. Here, let me hold your hand. Lorraine,
Loretta.
Loretta. Now, you look at the important things in life. Now, look at that beautiful moon out there. Isn't that gorgeous out there?
That's a lovely moon.
Sure
That's a
is.
lovely moon.
Yes, sir is.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it
You're
sure
right.
is.
You're right.
Now,
Irv.
hey, why don't you
You're such
sign
a
right at the
good
bottom?
man.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
There you
Here
go.
you
Just
go.
initials, page 2. Right at the bottom. Yeah, right at the bottom.
Okay.
An initial down there.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, thank
Hey.
you so much, Irv.
No
You're
problem. Just
so-
remember this. Would I lie to you?
Oh,
And hey, would I lie in front of your beautiful doggy? Now, you see, that is obviously an imposter. I mean, there's a lot of guys wearing jackets like this all over the streets of San Diego. I mean, ever since I started wearing these, everybody's wearing them now. And it's very popular, especially up in La Jolla. Now, that's just malarkey. I don't really find... could you shut that off for a minute? I need to make a very important phone call. Brenda, could you get me Mike Neal, please? Yeah, pronto. Okay? Hey! Did I tell you I got an award from San Diego Better Business Bureau? Yeah,
While Schmidlapp squirmed, Mickey McGuire's troops had already begun unleashing a barrage of discovery assaults on several fronts. To learn how the defense was counterattacking, 30 Minutes set off to Camp Pendleton to observe a press conference held by Schmidlapp's big gun, self-proclaimed war hero, General Mike Neal.
Peter. General, it's been rumored that you've sealed off all the exits and entrances to downtown, and that you've essentially pinned down the Browns and the Thorsness firm inside the Mr. A's building. What can you tell us about your next strategy?
Well, let me just step to the map here, and as you can see, what we're going to be doing here is a frontal assault through Mission Valley with an in-sweep into downtown, completely encircling his building. Then we're going to hit him with a barrage of interrogatories, object in a field of fire to every one of their answers, and then we're going to continue our PSYOPs campaign with an air envelopment also coming in on top of them for request for admission.
Bravo. General, exactly how many requests for admissions and interrogatories have you propounded, and how many have you refused to answer?
That's a classified question here. I'm a little reluctant to answer. I'm going to turn it over to my public affairs officer.
Ladies and gentlemen, officially, that is none of your damn business. General.
Hey, how do you enlist around here, you know what I mean?
Diane, babe.
General Neal, is there any truth to the rumor that Schmidlapp's brother and business partner, Irv Schmidlapp, has sided with the opponents?
That's preposterous. He's been the victim of torture and physical abuse, as this videotape will demonstrate.
You bet. I can't bear to watch this.
Irv Schmidlapp is a no-good bum. Irv Schmidlapp is a crook. He steals from little old ladies. He steals from children.
This is killing me, Mike.
Do not believe anything that Irv Schmidlapp says.
How can they do that to
General!
Connie, darling.
But what retaliation have you taken?
Yeah.
Well, in response to this cowardly terrorist attack by McGuire, we've launched our own attack, as we'll now show. Oh. So, as an alleged expert in the field of fraud and securities manipulation, do you feel that Mr. Schmidlapp perpetrated a fraud against the plaintiffs?
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind, based on all my years of experience and my review of all of the evidence in this case, including the videotape, that Mr. Schmidlapp has committed blatant violations of... Incoming!
So as you can see, we've effectively neutralized the effect of the enemy's expert witness.
Hey, what do you think, Mike? You picked this up for the trial, huh? This ought to do great with those North County juries.
Calm down, will you?
Well, how can Mr. Schmidlapp... 6 months later, the case of Brown v. Schmidlapp was set for trial in North County. We interviewed presiding Judge Kevin Midlam. Judge Midlam, we were wondering what your thoughts were about Schmidlapp's defense.
Oh, there's no defense to this case. To try it's a waste of time.
Well, how can Mr. Schmidlapp be assured of a fair trial if you've already seemed to have prejudged him?
We'll give him a fair trial, then we'll hang him.
Well, I see we've got Brown versus Schmidlapp. Good morning, Mr. Schmidlapp.
Hello, Your Honor.
I've got just the department for you this morning.
Goody.
Some refer to him as Hanging Herbie Hoffman.
Ooh.
I prefer Herbie the Judge.
Hey, perfecto mundo, Jess. That sounds great. Thank you.
To accommodate national and international news media, Judge Hoffman was assigned a downtown courtroom to try the Schmidlapp case.
Schmidlapp, please take those stars off.
Mike Neal for the defendant Schmidlapp, Your Honor.
You tell him, Mikey. You tell him we're ready to do some business here.
I see Mr. Neal has his uniform on. Mr. McGuire, are you going to change now? You can use our dressing room.
As a matter of fact, Your Honor, I would, but it's not necessary for the court to provide me with a dressing room. Is there a telephone booth available?
Hey,
Mickey McGuire ready for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Faster than a speeding bullet, McGuire made his opening statement, while the judge, more powerful than a locomotive, made the following startling ruling.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case is so outrageous that I am going to do something very unique. For the first time in my career, I am going to change this case from a civil trial to a criminal trial is what it should be. Now, can you all follow my instructions? All of you?
Well, I think things are going, fantastic.
The evidence was presented, and while the jury deliberated over his fate, Schmidlapp maintained his carefree disposition.
The thing about the added criminal charges, that threw a little problem for us, but it's no big deal. Things are going beautiful. I gotta run, though. I gotta get down to that pasta festival down at Fields. I'll see you later. Take it easy, guys.
The jury's verdict, however, came out later that afternoon.
Hey, what's going on, Mikey?
Be a man, Schmidlapp.
Hey, wait a minute, Mikey. Who's gonna take care of my ponies? What the heck, hey? Nobody knows the trouble I have seen. Hey, bailiff.
As Schmidlapp began to receive his punishment, we visited his father, Irving I, for a reaction.
Do you mean to tell me that my little boy, Irving, has been arrested by the police? My goodness gracious, I can't believe it. How could he, well, at least he shouldn't have been caught.
The final question is this: will prison rehabilitate the man called Schmidlapp?
Your investment future, there's a lot of nice vehicles out there you can be getting into. Say, can I see those keys just for a minute, just for a second? I just borrow them for a second, please.